So I've had other experiences with meditation. I've done, mindfulness based stress reduction. In my thesis and my master's program in counseling was always 5 of my courses were with a Buddhist Taoist psychotherapist. So he would do 5 minutes of meditation in our group counseling classes. So I've always been interested in that. And previous to that was like Sufism and going to it's kind of like an ashram, like sitting down and hearing it talk and then doing the chanting and the meditation from when I was 11 onwards. And then just after the stressful or mindfulness based stress reduction, MBSR, I did what's called Hadre Irfan. Irfan is sort of knowing God. So that was another year and a half, once a week course on learning the practical aspects of so learning about how we are, like the duality that we live in, the positive and the negative realm. And halqa means like a ring, right? So you sort of it's a connection with the divine. So those rings are there so that in everyday moments where you feel decharged, like if someone gives you an insult or looks at you funny, or if you have that inner critic, to become aware of that, and it's like a mantra. You kind of say you announce it, and it sort of cleanses you. So I became more and more aware of things like that. Or if someone cuts you off in traffic, instead of giving them the finger or swearing, you go into the negative realm. So that stay in the positive, you just sort of send a little prayer for them, like hopefully whatever's ailing them will be healed, so that they don't want to do this. Or compassionate, like maybe they needed to rush, maybe their child needs them or something like that. So I start to shift sort of my mental thinking around situations, like daily situations that would come up, and understanding how the different parts of the body all interconnect. So that was all. But when we did those meditations, it was sort of sitting in a group format. There was not like a one-on-one. But I learned, wow, there's the past lives, the future lives, how we're all connected, the collective consciousness, how we need to hold each other's hands to go back to the source where we all came from, how you can't just, leave people behind, and especially if people are really ill, doing ill things like Donald Trump or Justin Trudeau. Every day, those people are my prayers, because I learned that if you're in the negative, you're much more open to anything that's coming to you. But if you're in the positive, you're closed, so you're more impermeable to disease and disorder and things like that. So I send out positive energy to all the people who are. So that was my previous experience, but I've always looked for more experiential, sort of being able to do sitting down with myself and just being able to do this, and having a coach, I guess, or a mentor, or someone who would facilitate that. And that Sookshma, where you connect with someone who's already divine and so connected themselves, from someone who did the initial workshop to then Sunita, who sits and does 5-6 hour meditations daily, and is just connected always, to be a vessel to help me individually, and to be able to go into that with the the sound vibrations, and being able to lie down, and being able to with the prayers being there. It's a very holistic, because you come in, you speak, you talk what's going on, and you do the physical exercises to get the body. I learned so much about different parts of the feet, how they're connected to the different skeletal system, the organ system, the head, activating all of that, and then catching the energy, pouring it into your belly, learning the elements of the body, the fire, the earth, the water, the air. So it was very holistic, and understanding all of that, and then being able to at the end lie down and just go into this experience of like total peace and stillness, but you're not asleep, and then coming out of that super clear and super regenerated. And so that the lying down, the having the individual help, having someone see so much in you individually on like what your purpose is in this life, and being able to connect to that, but also clear your channels, clear your blockages. I felt like, wow, there's a lot of blockages here. There's something going on that I know all this stuff again about what I need to sit down and be with myself and look inside and be mindful and meditate, but I wasn't doing it, and so this from the experience of it and being able to lie down for like over an hour in meditation. The other ones were always very short meditations, maybe 20 minutes at most, in a group session, in a group format, which I believe group energy is also very powerful. But to be able to do this individually and to actually say Om, like I was able to kind of find my voice and to kind of sing with only my voice, not hiding kind of behind the group. So it was just it's like a blossoming of inside and feeling kind of comfortable and confident in that. So I think that's the difference. It's a very powerful experience. It's very accelerated. You feel it much faster than my previous ones were like lifelong, and then a year and a half learning all the different mantras and things like that. But this is like 8 sessions, twice a week. So in 4 weeks, there was a big shift, I think. So,
can you talk a bit about the effortless part?
Yeah. So the one of the reasons I never did the meditations because it felt like so much effort, to kind of sit down and meditate and things like that. And now it's like, it just comes to you. So this, instead of you seeking it, I'm like, okay, I need to put this into my schedule and make time for this. It's kind of like, no, it's in me. Every night I'm like, okay, we need to meditate. We should meditate. It's just like naturally there. So it just becomes effortless. Instead of having to make a plan and really try to cut out time and make the time for it. And it's sort of with you, like they say the ultimate state is to be in that meditative blissful state all the time without having to cut everybody out and go there. So I feel like this is happening more and more continuously throughout the day. It's with you. It's something that's with you, that's a constant reminder.